today we're talking about the new release from Gucci. We're talking about the new foundation and the new primer. We're also going to talk about last week's giveaway winner, and we'll talk about this week's giveaway. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around because we're about to get right into it. So I'm Mona. Thanks for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. If you're new, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you would consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around and being a part of the family. I took a break from YouTube for a little while, and now I'm back and I'm trying to rebuild some ground that I lost while I was away. And hopefully the content that I bring you is valuable and enjoyable. So I'm gonna have timestamps in this video. I don't wanna waste your time ever. I appreciate that you come and that you're here. So in the description, which you can get to by pressing the little arrow or the title if you're looking at this on your phone. If you are looking at this on your PC, you can just hit that little arrow that says see more, and that will give you the timestamps. That will give you descriptions, a list of the ingredients, where to find them if you are interested in purchasing them for yourself, and it will also tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about my channel, how to find me on other social media platforms, and most of all, where you can get to the exact part of the video that you might want to see. When you're going to spend or make an investment in this type of luxury makeup, you want to know what you're about to spend your money on. At least I do. So let's get straight to the specs. The primer is $58. It is Sérum de Beauté Fluide Soyeux Primer. And that is basically saying that it is a silky, hydrating primer. So you get them in a nice, heavy glass frosted bottle. It's not very ornate, but it does feel luxe. You have the blush top, which is also very trendy. This primer, it has been meticulously crafted to harness, reveal, and perfect the distinctive qualities of the individual. It's universal, it's non-sticky, it's suitable for all skin types, it glides on smoothly and it evens your tone, it plumps your skin while creating a natural finish with a soft glow effect that blur lines and pores. The primer can be worn alone or in preparation for a fuller look using other beautifying tools like the Gucci Fluide De Beauté Fini Naturel liquid foundation, which is this new foundation. So this is $68. I think that that is a little on the pricey side on its own. $68 for a foundation is a lot, but I think it's even more expensive for the fact that you only get 0.5 of a fluid ounce in this container. Most foundations give you a full fluid ounce. So that really puts this price at double. Is it worth you spending your hard-earned money on? So what are the details? It says that this is both an experimentation, an expression, and a new line of innovative liquid foundation in 40 shades, which I think is an impressive shade range. It's developed to be comfortable, lightweight, and completely buildable. That it can be adorned as a barely there finish for a subtle look, or it can be a full coverage look without cakiness. Gives you a natural finish, is suitable for all skin types, it's lightweight and long wearing. It has an innovative soft focus powder technology that transforms texture for effortless and precise application. Its advanced polymer technology creates a non-greasy blurring effect. It contains natural origin emulsifiers and glycerin for comfortable hydration. It's made in Italy. They do give you the full Gucci luxury experience, and then each product also comes with a little tote, a little Gucci tote. So let's see how it wears, what I think. I'm gonna take the little pump. It's a medium viscosity serum type of substance. I'm going to put it on one side first and not the other. I find that this goes on better with your fingers than with a brush. The foundation as well. I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with a sponge. I really prefer to just use my fingers. Of course, make sure your fingers are clean. It does have the typical Gucci smell, so it's very highly scented. So if scents bother you, that's going to be a no-go. I rather enjoy the scent, and I have my skincare on already, so I don't feel like there's too much of a risk of putting this on top of my sunscreen, on top of all my skin conditioning agents. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. I know the scar is so ugly. My black eye is not quite gone yet. Primer. No primer. Primer. No primer. I definitely see a blurring effect with this. Now I have something else that's going to show up in my next video, which is my favorites of 2020, all favorites of 2020, and that has even more blurring than this, but this works very well with the foundation. Okay. I'll go in and apply that. The feel of it is very silky. It feels very hydrating. This side is already dried down, and it feels soft and it feels hydrated, but it doesn't feel sticky or tacky. This side is not quite there yet, so it takes about 10 seconds, I guess, to what I would say dry down to be ready for your foundation to go over it. I think this would be a really good standalone product for no makeup days when you just want to blur imperfections. I think it does a really good job of that. Okay, now we're going to go in with the foundation. I chose the color Fair, which was the shade 120N. It was very hard on the site to find the right color match. Shake it up. I like to pump it on a clean hand. Like I said, I have tried the sponge, I've tried the brush. I really prefer this with my fingers. I think it's supposed to be a lightweight, skin-like foundation. You can see the consistency. You can also see the color. I think it's a good color match, but I think it does lean a little warm. Again, with the fragrance, you definitely can smell the fragrance. It does dissipate after a while. I find it nice, but if you're scent averse, this wouldn't be for you. Just like to really pat it in and really get everything into my pores. I think that helps my pores look minimized. Zoom in. This is one layer, so you can kind of still see my skin poking through. Definitely will need some concealer right there. I'm going to build it up with one more layer. I think if you're going to build it up, that thin, light layers are best to avoid that cakey look. I think you can build it up to a light medium coverage. I don't think it looks good past that. Let me zoom you in. It feels really good in your skin. It dries down to a satin matte finish. Still feels hydrated. It doesn't feel dewy or luminous. It feels soft. It feels hydrated, and I have very dry skin, and I'm 50. I don't find that it settles into lines. I don't think it accentuates pores. So I really like the way it dries down. It almost feels like a little bit of a powder finish. So I'm gonna add just a little makeup. This is just an errand day for me, but it's really all about the Gucci foundation and primer. But I did want to show you guys something else, and I'm just going to add it to a light makeup look today. This is a gift set by Lilah B. This is so pretty. This is on sale right now. They sent this to me, so thank you, Lilah B. And they gave me a 20% off coupon, Mona20, which I'll have linked in the description. This little kit is so nice. This is a mini glow duo. I thought it would be good for gift giving, but I know we're running out of time on that. But I absolutely love these. They're so cute. So look how little these are, but they're heavy, right? They're very, very weighty. And the Lilah B name, if you've never tried any of their products, is really, really good and natural. These are like little mini shimmers. I've got two colors here. They gave me the champagne and the bronze glow, I think. So, I mean, you can see how tiny they are. These are minis. But you know these products last so long. I actually love these minis for putting in my purse. The cover just slides around. They're heavy, they're beautiful. So this is kind of like a bronze glow. And I actually like to use it for kind of a bronzer with a little shimmer, especially at the holidays. And this one as a highlight color. I also like to put this one on my eyes. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna swipe it. I'm just gonna swipe it over my lid for a little hint of color. This really makes blue eyes and green eyes pop. Just a one swipe and done. How pretty is that? Put a little bit right here. It's all about the fingers today. Easy makeup looks for busy women. And these are so pretty for the mature skin. But they look lovely on anyone. That's what I figure. If it looks good on somebody who's 50, it'll look good on anybody who's younger than me too. I was really excited that they sent me this because we get a lot of things that are just, they're okay, but every now and then you get something when you're a small creator that really gets you excited. And this was one of those products because I think it's beautiful. And I thought it would be perfect on top of the Gucci makeup today because it's just light and I can get a little pop of color and a little healthy glow without disrupting the look of the makeup, so that when we come back and do a check-in, you guys can really see what the makeup is doing. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this champagne color and I'm just gonna highlight at the top. This could also be used as a base underneath foundation to give a glow. And that might not be bad on top of underneath the foundation like this that's more matte or more natural finish. If you want a little luminosity, this doesn't have to just go here. So cute. They sent me in this kit the Lilah tinted lip oil. This is like a combination lip oil. It's got a lot of good for you ingredients for your lips. It packs a nice little gloss of color with a lip oil feel, which I absolutely love. But you can see how pigmented it is. Isn't that pretty? The nice little applicator. For being a lip oil, I think it definitely packs a nice punch of color and it feels so good. I have the ingredients for this along with the coupon code in the description. I think this is a nice treat. I love the little bag. I love the nice soft glow that it gives me, the one and done look. So I'm gonna throw on a little mascara, I'm gonna take off the headband, and then we'll be back to do a check-in in about 3 or 4 hours. I got a few things to do and then I'll be back. I always say a foundation isn't good unless it passes the car mirror test or the outside test. You know, you think your makeup is looking good and then you get in your car and you pull down your rearview mirror or you pull down your visor and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, it's all clumped up or it's patchy or whatever. So I wanted to give you an outside view. It's not real sunny. It's getting late in the evening. This has been on for about 4 hours. I'm trying to get you in a good way where it's not so bright. I don't have a lot of other makeup on because I really wanted you to be able to see the foundation. You might be able to tell that I'm liking it just a little bit. So I just came back out to get my mail. It's been about 6 hours. It's still looking about the same. It still feels the same. Maybe it's breaking down a little bit right here of 8 and drink. But we're gonna be back in we'll be back in a couple of hours to give it like an 8-hour review. Okay, I've had this on for 8 hours and 20 minutes. Not real long, but I think that after wearing it and testing it, I kind of know how it performs on me. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what it looks like after this time. Keep in mind that today I used the primer and the foundation together, and I did not use a powder. I did not use a setting spray. I don't have on concealer. I also don't have on heavy makeup. I purposely wanted you to really be able to see the results. And this is my most flawed side. Still think it gives you that powdery finish look. It still feels soft. I have a little bit of breaking up right around here and right around my mouth, which I've drank some drinks and I've moved my mouth a lot because I talk all the time. This is the other side. You do see a little color right here that's still from that Lilah B Mini Glow Duo in the bronze color. But no blush, no powders. So we're gonna get into my final thoughts. And then after that, I'm gonna announce last week's giveaway winner, and then I'm gonna announce what the giveaway is for the next video. I really didn't wanna love this foundation because it is so pricey. And I really am more of a middle range kind of person. I spent my whole life buying drugstore makeup. It wasn't until I got into my late 40s that I started venturing into higher end, middle ground, and luxe products. When I was raising my kids, I didn't have that disposable income to spend on myself. And now that I do like to dabble in some of the nicer things. I really am enjoying this product. I'm 50. What I'm looking for in a foundation is I am looking for something that is not going to emphasize my texture, that is not going to make me look older or worse. I want to smooth out the imperfections that I do have, and I find less is more. I'm really not looking for a heavy coverage foundation. I'm not looking for a foundation that is going to necessarily last on the everyday for a long time. Now, there are certain times and events where I'm going to want that long-term coverage, but for the everyday, I'm really just looking to look better. If I'm running errands or I'm going to an event, which isn't too often these days, I feel like this checked all my boxes. It was lightweight. It was not luminous, which a lot of times I do like a little bit of a dewy look. I feel like the primer definitely gave it some dewiness, which on its own that it did not have. I did try this with the primer and without, and I can tell you that if you have a good primer or you have a blurring primer that you have or a hydrating primer, depending on what your skin needs are, you may just want to use that primer. I think that if you don't, that these two go better together. Like salt and pepper, beans and rice, that my best look was achieved when I used them in combination with each other. I got a good 7 hours of wear with this foundation. After the 7-hour mark, I did see a little breaking down here and a little breaking down here. It's moving my face a lot. I hadn't built up the coverage on any of the days very much. Didn't powder today. Now, what I did notice on yesterday is that when I added a setting spray, I got longer coverage. I got a good 9.5 hours, almost 10 hours before I really noticed any breakdown. I'm using a setting spray like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, which is pretty good at making your foundation last, or the Urban Decay 24/7 setting spray can really add longevity. If you like the look of this and you really need it to last for a long time, I think you can get a good 10 hours out of it with a setting spray. On its own, you can get a good 7, 8 hours, it did not look real bad. It had just worn away a little bit. I think for a mature woman like me, this is perfect. I think that it did have some blurring, which is super important to me. If you have smoother skin and you have less imperfections, maybe that's not so important. For me, it's a very important part of a foundation, and this met that requirement. There was blurring. I love the finish. It did not dry my skin out. I don't find that it's clinging to texture. I think it just gives me a soft, natural looking finish. My skin but better with a little more coverage. So would I recommend it? If you can splurge, let's say that this was worth the splurge. For me, it was worth the splurge. Will I buy it again? That's going to depend. That's going to depend on what comes out between now and the time that I run out of this. But I'll probably be wearing this every day for a while. So I rather enjoy it. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm glad I bought it. I'm definitely going to use up every last drop. And I think it looks nice on my skin. If you're new here, you may look at my skin and say, girl, you don't look that good. Well, no, I'm 50 and my skin is very flawed. But when I compare it against other things on this same flawed canvas, I think that this performs better than a lot of them. You can get something nice for a more affordable price, but if you're interested in purchasing something luxe from Gucci, this definitely clicks all of the luxe labels. So now to the giveaway. By a random generator, the winner of last week's giveaway, the e.l.f. Holiday Palette, was Nona Grace. Nona Grace has her own channel on YouTube. I picked her name. She is in Western New York. I hope that I'm going to link her in the comments, that you will go and check her out. Nona Grace, you won the e.l.f. palette. So you have 72 hours to notify me by Instagram or by email, which is all linked in the description comments, and get me your address and I will have that on its way to you. Congratulations. And the giveaway for the next video is really special. It is the new Charlotte Tilbury Star Aura palette. It's kind of in those taupey colors with a little pink. I ordered the 2 new palettes and I accidentally ordered 2 of the Charlotte Tilbury Star Aura palettes, and I only need 1. So I am going to, instead of canceling the order or returning it, I'm just going to gift it to one of you. To be entered, anybody can be entered. It's an international giveaway. All you have to do is put in the comments that you'd like to be entered in the Charlotte Tilbury palette giveaway. That's it. That's it. And be 18 or over or have your parents' permission. And until next time, go out and live light now.